Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. It is Saturday. Yes, a weekend full of dropping books, crafting, and all that stuff. Okay, I'm trying to hold too many things at once. I brought in all my props to show you what I finished. Let me grab the books I dropped. Okay, get them in order. Now I'm starting again. So the last time I checked in, I told you I was pretty much caught up with stuff, and I was going to make a project from Edward's Imaginarium. First time using this book, even though I've had it for years. This is the one where you mix and match heads and arms and legs and horns and all that and come up with your own monster. And I was going for this guy over here who has horns coming out of the side of his head and striped, what I thought was striped. It wasn't striped. You're supposed to make the entire critter in the same color and then take the different color yarns and work a spiral in surface crochet around it. Not happening. I don't do well with surface crochet. So I went rogue with the pattern and I just did rows of different colors for him. I went rogue with the pattern in more ways than one. Let's see. Starting from the top, doing rows instead of surface crochet. Rogue number 2, I gave him a little nose. Rogue number 3, the neck in her pattern, she goes down to 9 stitches. A 9-stitch neck. The head's wobbling all over the place. So I only went down to 18 and then just continued the body from there. That was 3. Rogue number 4. Is it 4, 5, 6, 7? Her arms and legs. She starts at the top with a chain 12, join, and work down, and then you make the end here and go down to 6 stitches and gather it all together. Not logical. Because then you have to remember to leave yourself a long string at the beginning to sew it on, and then you have, when you gather 6 stitches together, it doesn't have a nice clean look that starting with a magic circle does. So I reversed the instructions, and then you're trying to stuff just the hand when you're finishing up the hand. That could be tough. So I started down here and worked my way up. I did go a little loosey-goosey with the row numbers too, because I wanted to have this progression. White, yellow, white, gray, white, yellow, white, gray. And I think I cut a few rows off the arms in order to keep that. And then there's one more progression in here. So the legs are a little bit longer, the arms are a little bit shorter, but I like the way he turned out. He's had his time in the light box, and hopefully I will get him up on Etsy today. He says hi. So then, well, actually before then, when I went to my daughter's house on Thursday, my husband went along. He was driving. I just showed you. So I was looking for something quick and easy that I could work on in the car while we were driving over. And I made a banana. Banana. I keep showing stuff. It's like, okay, let's put it out of the way so they don't see it until I'm ready to talk about it. And then I bring it in anyways. Okay. But the peels will sort of go up to cover the banana. And then you can peel it down. And then, let's see, that was Thursday. I was working on that. Came home. I started I'm calling him Spike because he's got the horns going out his head. I finished Spike. That was Friday night. And I was having a hard time getting warm. was getting cold again. We didn't have the wood stove on. So I was all bundled up in my chair under two blankets, and I didn't want to get up to get other yarn or another pattern book or anything like that. So the same notebook that had the banana had my no-sew gecko pattern in there. And I'm looking around, okay, I've got the white yarn, I've got this pink yarn, they're both like a sport weight. So I made a pink gecko. And I did this one with embroidered eyes, just because some people, like if they were giving this to a little baby, they would want embroidered eyes instead of a set of safety eyes. So made a gecko. So I'm sitting there last night like, okay, I finished the gecko. It's not time for bed yet. What do I do now? I went through, here's my scribbles. I went through my entire day planner for 2023, and I was making, okay, how many dogs did I sell? How many mushrooms did I sell? How many geckos? How many leggy frogs? And I just, the items that I sold multiple items of, I was trying to itemize just to get an idea of what was selling. I didn't realize it, but I sold 10 leggy frogs. I probably would have told you, yeah, maybe 5 or 6, but I sold a bunch of them and restocked them and sold more. So I really should have leggy frogs stocked up in my Etsy shop and for when shows start up again in March. What else was I surprised by? I did pattern counts too. I sold 13 patterns in the $2.99 range, 11 patterns in the $4.25. Okay, that would be my Donatello, the dress-up turtle. If somebody asked me like, oh, how many of those patterns you sell? I probably said, oh yeah, I did pretty well. I sold 3 or 4 this year. Actually, I sold 11, so I did better with that pattern than I thought. Apparently one of my patterns is on sale for $3. I sold 2 of those. I'll have to look up, find what it was. And I've got a pattern that's listed for $1.99. I sold 4 of those. So, yep, so I sold 10, 20, 24, 26, 30 patterns this year. Wow. I'm getting there. It takes time. I sold 8 glow monsters. I sold 11 coffee cups. My little coffee cup, I have a free pattern on my blog. Need to make more of those. Sold a bunch of turtles. Well, this says I only sold like 5 dragons. I thought I sold more dragons than that. Well, maybe dragons will pick up again this year. A lot of dinosaurs. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 full-size dinosaurs, and 8 mini dinosaurs. Okay. So I'm gonna, I'll hole punch this. It's hole punched for my day planner because there were times over the course of the year when I didn't use my day planner as consistently as I should, and I had a lot of blank pages from month to month. So I will repunch this for a 3-hole punch and put it into my records notebook. So let's do this one first. I have in my Google Docs now a list of all of my amigurumi books. I did a copy and paste, pasted it into a Wheel of Names site on the internet. It's right there. Watching the wheel spin. Okay, which book shall I work from next? And it picked out Zumagurumi 5. So I was going through here like, okay, I've already made Katerino the Walrus. Right now, my top 3 possibilities are the mouse, the dog, and the camel, who is not on the cover. So I'm really not sure. I think I will, I think I'll just look around at my yarn and see what calls to me first, see what I have to use up, and then I'll be okay. There's some gray yarn just waiting to be used. Let's make a gray mouse. Or, oh, that yarn looks like it's camel colored. Let's use that. So that's going to be the project. The project of the day will be whatever I choose from this and the Boggy Creek blanket. I'm going to be alternating between this project and the Boggy Creek blanket. And I was out shopping and running errands today. I got a note. Well, I didn't get a notice. I checked the library website because I had requested a couple of books on Wednesday. And it said that I had a book ready for pickup. Ta-da! Beetles, Bugs, and Butterflies. A crochet story of tiny creatures and big dreams. So I'm going to look through this. I really like... Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Techniques. Okay. The patterns. Changing to a new color. Patterns. Okay, the patterns are in here. I didn't realize it was like this. It starts out with the life cycle of a butterfly, and it goes through a story. And then you've got all of the different stages of the butterfly. But then in the end, there's the patterns. So we shall see. I like to check out books. Yeah, literally check out books from the library and check them out before I decide if I'm going to buy them for my own personal use. So I'll be taking a look at that today and deciding if I want to make any of those projects, if this is a book that I want to add to my library. Boggy Creek blanket's going to get some work today. Yep, got to get going back on that again. And yep, my day planner is still back in the craft room. Day planner needs to go up by my chair so I can start getting it set up for Monday, because Monday is the new year. Get my goals written up. I need to do the random number generator to determine my crazy critter challenge for this year. I need to do my little wheel again to decide which craft book I will do for the Ami Book Challenge for January. Just get a list made. One thing, I have to find my list of patterns that I have purchased but not made, because every month I want to do one of those. So pick one of those out. So many projects, so little time. I feel good that I'm pretty much caught up. I did already print out my 2023 end of year numbers. Even though we still have today and tomorrow left in December, I haven't had an Etsy order since December 14th. So I'm like, I'm not gonna get any more Etsy orders. I'm not gonna get anything left for this year. So I'll just print this stuff out. If I get an Etsy order, I'll have to go through and change the numbers on these two, like change the total for December, change the Etsy totals for December. It's sort of like I'm laying down the gauntlet for Murphy's Law. Okay, Murphy, I updated my lists and said I'm all done for December. Go ahead, make me change them. We shall see how well that works. So I am going to try to get a lot done today. It's already close to noon. I mean, I sort of bummed around in the morning until 10 or so. Then I headed out to the library and the grocery store. I had coupons that expire today, like $5 off a $50 order, and save $2 on your deli purchase if you spend $35, and you get extra gas points. So it's like, that's $7 in savings. I'm not going to let $7 in savings just expire. So I had to go to the grocery store today, use up my coupons. I got gluten-free bread and rye bread for my husband and corned beef and Swiss cheese, and we're going to have Reubens for dinner today. The funny thing is, I'm like, okay, for the coming year, plan on retiring. I'm going to have more time. I'm going to start making my own gluten-free bread so that I don't have to spend $7 on a loaf of bread when I need to get bread. So what, okay, when I bought the bread, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'll put this in the freezer. I'll make the sandwiches. Then I'll put the rest in the freezer. Next time I need bread, I'm going to make my own bread. Wouldn't you know, at the register, it prints out like a $3 coupon on my next 2 loaves of gluten-free bread. That's Murphy's Law kicking in. Okay, I will be heading out to my chair now. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. If I don't see you tomorrow, Happy New Year. Don't stay up too late. Even if you do want to get just one more row in, don't stay up too late. Bye-bye.